Helldivers 2, developed by Arrowhead Studios and published by Sony Interactive in 2024 for PC and PS5, is a video game that took me by surprise. The game is a third-person cooperative horde shooter, similar to games like 40k Darktide or Left 4 Dead, with some added elements that spice up the formula. Players drop onto a planet, either solo or with a group up to 4, and pursue objectives around a large, procedurally generated map, while battling hordes of either giant space bugs or legally differentiated Terminators and ATSTs. The map is basically a mini open world filled to the brim with POIs containing upgrade materials, side objectives, and enemy installations to blow up. You are armed to the teeth with orbital bombardments and gadgets to take on the planet, which is consistently creating cool action-man sequences where you can call in an airstrike and run away from it and pretend not to look at the camera. I think what instantly struck me about Helldivers 2 and what makes it special is that this may be the first horde shooter I've played where the hordes come on open fields. You're not crammed down corridors or in some kind of enclosed arena for the boss battles. Combined with the hilariously implemented friendly fire system, creates a much deeper and tactical game than I originally anticipated when I stupidly pre-ordered it the day of release. I say stupidly because, while I almost have nothing but praise for Helldivers 2, its launch has been quite disastrous. As of writing, there are constant connectivity issues as well as crashes, which can be devastating at the end of a long mission as it means no rewards. Also, there's a cash shop in the game you paid for, if that bothers you. Anyway, I just had to throw that out there. Ideally, it'll all be fixed by the time you see this, but I'd perhaps hold on to your money, at least for now. In Helldivers 2, players are put into the shoes of a Helldiver, an elite force of heavy weapon specialists whose job it is to land on planets and spread American-style freedom, liberty, and democracy to all who need it, primarily uncivilized bugs and automatons. Premise-wise, and that's all that is really need to be said, so let's just get into the meat, which is the gameplay.
Become a legend. Become a Helldiver.
Helldivers is a simple game in the play, but it's in the finer details where the game comes alive. It is ideally played with a squad of up to 4 people, as the more people, the more explosions you can call in on the freedom haters. The game has a decent marking system and chat wheel, which can be used effectively to communicate with teammates, though playing on mic is the best way to play. I haven't experienced it myself, but playing with randoms can invite the danger of being griefed by others or kicked out for no apparent reason, leaving you with your dick in your hand and no post-mission rewards. As a Helldiver, you have your own ground support ship which you take from mission to mission. From this ship you are able to call in what are called stratagems, things like bombing runs and ammo drops. There are no classes in Helldivers, just the stratagems that you bring with you, and there is a good variety of them. On harder missions, coordinating with your team can be important, as you'll need to use stratagems efficiently to succeed in your mission. This is because eventually you'll start coming across bugs and bots that laugh in the face of small arms fire. Helldivers are less soldiers and more of a scout unit specializing in getting the fuck in and out of hostile territory, spreading as much freedom as they can along the way. Most missions are on a 40-minute time limit, so once you're on the ground it's up to the squad to pick a direction and start moving towards it. Something that really surprised me in the game is the role stealth plays in the bigger picture. Patrols of enemies roam around the map, and if the group is caught, will sound an alarm which will begin spawning new enemies on the spot for a small period of time. There are no extra rewards for the amount of enemies you kill, so without having heard this video, it could take people a little while to figure out that patrols are best avoided entirely. If you do engage with one, you better be sure to kill every one of them before they're able to set off the alarm. It only takes one enemy to do it, and this tension is great, often creating both hilarious and painful moments. Once you've snuck past the patrol and gotten to your chosen objective, you've entered familiar territory. Most objectives will be familiar to anyone who's played this type of game, essentially boiling down to bunkering down and pressing on a couple interactables every now and again. Like other familiar conventions that this game plays in, though, it is elevated by what I'm calling the 360 angle this game has. No, not that 360. The 360 angle being the fact that you are able to be surrounded on all sides and are completely unable to see what's behind you. This is Helldivers' most unique asset, which is remarkable for being a sequel to a top-down shooter. It's hard to describe with words, but this game is a factory for cinematic action movie moments. You're defending an area, airstrikes are going off everywhere, bots are walking over the hill with their chainsaw arms. It's a gorgeous cacophony of blood and limbs. To complicate matters, friendly fire is an essential part of the game's structure. Not only do you have to be careful of where you're placing your turrets or where you're going to airstrike, but just your positioning in general. In a way, you're kind of like firefighters trying to surround the fire before it surrounds you. So you are trying to position yourself in a way that not only are your flanks covered, but you're not firing into a fellow diver's back. There are some truly hilarious moments created by accidental friendly fire, and it helps the game feel more dynamic because of it. With randoms, it's less funny because, well, they're not your friends, so it can feel a bit more of an inconvenience simply because you've no one to laugh with. The shooting in the game feels great in the hands. It's pretty typical third-person shooter stuff, but there are some cool things Helldivers does with its combat, and particularly with the aiming. The first cool thing is that most guns will have a first-person option, giving you the ability to look down your scope and be effective at long ranges. The other thing is how the game handles recoil. Instead of your cursor being forcibly moved or your reticule getting larger, Helldivers shows you where you are looking and where your bullets will go, represented by a small moving circle. The only other place I've seen this style of aiming is in sim flying and space games. You can kneel or go prone to increase your accuracy. This is a neat little system, and it feels like managing recoil is its own minigame. Reloading is handled in a clip-style system, meaning that if you throw out your clip, you're also throwing out all the ammunition left in it also. You can change the rate of fire on your weapon and even the aiming range of your scope. There are quite a few little things like this that take a while to notice, but contribute to Helldivers feeling more tactical than it first appears. I haven't seen all the planets Helldivers has to offer yet, but I played on 5 of them and they're all varying degrees of proc-gen biomes. There hasn't been any level design, so to speak, just a lot of points of interest and objectives scattered around the map. They're non-distinct, but this is fine, oh, this is the snow level, this is the desert level, etc., etc. It's cool. The levels are a vessel for the combat, and thus demands open space with some varying levels of elevation. Scattered around these maps are samples and upgrade materials, which you can collect as you're hopping from objective to objective. Depending on how much time is left or how many respawns for the team remain, you may make the decision to end the mission via extraction. You don't need to extract if you've completed the mission objectives. If the freedom has already been spread, then that's that. But you will need to if you want to bring your samples back to your ship. This is cool because it means managing time and resources, making risk-reward decisions on how long you should remain in the mission. There are 2 factions of enemies in Helldivers, the bugs and the automatons. Both offer their own unique gameplay challenges, the bugs being more numbers but the bots being tougher in general. I think I like fighting the bugs more simply because they're less fucking terrifying, but I've enjoyed and harrowed my time on the robot worlds. They invoke the Terminator movies so hard, and it's been like a decade since I've last seen one of them, so the game's doing a good job. Graphics in Helldivers are great for an indie game. The game can handle a lot of enemies on screen at once, and the levels themselves are big. The lighting is nice, and the fog effects are fantastic for creating mood and atmosphere. It can really make you feel like the fear a trooper may have felt in this situation. Voice acting and music is the standout here. The mission intro music and the music that plays as you extract is pitch perfect for the situation. I noticed myself unironically going, oh yeah, like Kool-Aid Man every time we dropped into a mission or completed an objective. I don't play a lot of multiplayer games anymore. If I do, it's a fighting game or a racing game, so communication isn't needed. This is the first time in a while that I've really wanted to get my friends on board so we could have a virtual hangout that I actually want to play. I've got 20 hours in Helldivers 2 so far, so for the price point I feel like I've already gotten my money's worth. I'll most likely play a lot more, so while this is probably more of an impressions than a review, I just wanted to make a quick video to say that I think this game is pretty great and you should try it too. Maybe wait until the server issues got ironed out, maybe they already have, or maybe you don't care. It's a good game. If you want it now, you'll probably want it later too. I give this game a 9 on the Funno Monitor scale. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.